We have some pretty exciting Prehistoric Kingdom news. So they had just announced the full roster of the vivarium creatures that will be added in Update 16, which is also an update that will be here on December 23rd, which by my count is in 2 days. So this update's almost here. That's very exciting stuff. Also, the public test branch is out for testing out some of the vivariums. So after we look at this roster, we're going to go into the game and look at how the vivariums will work because that is just very exciting stuff in and of itself. But let's just get started onto the roster. Let's check out these amazing little vivarium creatures. So first up right here, we have Compsognathus. We knew about Compsognathus, of course, already. And I still love it. I think it's a very nice design. Of course, Compsognathus is a dinosaur that might very well just be a juvenile, so we don't know what the adults quite look like, but that's a discussion for another time. This is a very nice design. I love the feathers. I love the shape of the head. That is what its head shape really was. I love the lanky legs that it has, and overall, it's just a very nice design with very nice colors too. It's one that I'm pretty excited to see in the game. Next up, this one was a little bit surprising, Diictodon. This is a Permian synapsid, which is very exciting. I love that we are getting, Paleozoic creatures in this next update, even if they are just like little vivarium creatures. I mean, just look how cute that is. That is going to be something that I'm going to love placing into my parks. I love how they gave it the tusks. I love the little beak that it has, and the whole shape of it, I think, looks pretty darn good as well. Yet another fantastic design that we can expect to see. This is this might take the cake for what I am most excited for. Well, maybe. It's up there. This is my favorite amphibian of all time, Diploculus, the very strange boomerang-headed creature from from the Permian and also the Carboniferous. Good thing we haven't done the many interpretations of Diploculus yet because it is on the poll. Like you guys have the option to vote for it, and it hasn't won yet, and that maybe that was for the better because if we just wait a little bit longer, we will be able to see it in game. It looks so nice here. It has that very kind of smooth amphibian-like texture to it. The boomerang head looks fantastic too. It's such a weird amphibian because of this boomerang head. I also love how they gave it some extra skin right here connecting its head to the rest of its body. A lot of other depictions, they kind of had its head separated from its body, but some more modern reconstructions do have it like this. I love it, and the colors are really nice too. They really fit Diploculus right here. After that, Mononychus, an alvarosaurid. This is very exciting. Mononychus is such a cute little dinosaur, and man, it looks so good right here. I also really like this little structure they gave on top of its head, on top of its head. The shape of the skull looks fantastic, and you'll notice that it does have like this, whoopsies. Oh, no, not yet. Spoilers, but you'll notice that it does have this little singular claw. Of course, Mononychus does translate to single claw, and that's because it just had one claw or one finger really on its hand, one noticeable finger. It's possible that it would use that claw to dig into like trees, old dead wood and stuff like that to go after some insects. There's a good chance that Mononychus and other alvarosauриds were insectivorous animals, and you can kind of tell with that model right here. Also, just really good job on the feathers. Prehistoric Kingdom always does very good with the feathering on these animals. I love the eye too. The eye is very nice. This one's pretty exciting too. Peltophilus. Now, Peltophilus, as you could probably guess right here, is a type of armadillo that lived in the Cenozoic, of course. It's a type of horned armadillo. It did have these like little nasal horns towards the front like that. And much like other armadillos would have had like a larger osteoderm, just kind of like covering their back and whatnot. That's a very exciting inclusion right there. Armadillos are always very fascinating animals. And it's interesting that we're getting like a smaller one before we get maybe like, I mean, I don't know if we'll ever get like larger car-sized armadillos like Doedicurus, for example, but it's very cool that we're getting a armadillo in general. And again, this is another one that I'm very excited to see in the game. This one's also a very exciting inclusion, Sahon Achilles. I don't know if I said that properly. I'm not too familiar with this fella, but I do know that it's a type of turtle that lived in the late Cretaceous period of Madagascar. And all of the paleo art that I've seen of this animal looks pretty similar to this, so I assume that this is a very good reconstruction of it. I love the colors too. I mean, it makes sense to have something like a turtle in a vivarium. Most of the time when I see things like vivariums at zoos, there's usually turtles in some of them, like, you know, giant alligator snapping turtles and stuff like that. So this certainly makes sense. I can't wait to see it. Some familiar faces like Simosuchus clarki, one of my favorite extinct animals to ever exist. We're getting quite a few of my favorite creatures in this update, which I'm so excited about. Simosuchus is often called the pug-nosed crocodile, and that's because it has like a reduced snout. Now, it's not a true crocodilian. That is an important distinction. Despite looking a little bit more like a crocodilian, it's not a true crocodilian. But they did have osteoderms like how it's portrayed right here. Again, the snout shape looks really good, and I love how the limbs look as well. Really fantastic one. I just can't wait to include this one. Tiktaalik, I am very excited for Tiktaalik. In the trailer, we actually do see it kind of like crawling around in like the mud and also swimming around. I'm very excited to see it swim and just do both of those things. Obviously, I think it's an amazing design. And I cannot wait to see more of it. This was a nice surprise. This was a very nice surprise right here. Titanoboa, another Cenozoic creature, and this time it is one of the largest snakes to ever exist. And I love it. I love its design right here. I love these patterns going on. Again, I love how shiny the scales are. The head looks really good. And yeah, no, it looks it looks like a giant snake, which what more could you ask for from an animal like Titanoboa? So I cannot wait to see this in the game. And then finally, of course, there's Yishi. We've known about Yishi as well, and its design just looks fantastic. The skull shape is spot on. It's got like the little bat-like wings. All of the feathers are present. It's an amazing design. So those are the vivarium creatures that will be added. I cannot wait to see them. Now, obviously, those creatures are not the only thing that will be coming to the game. As you can see here, of course, like veterinarians, that stuff will be added. Some things like diseases, illnesses for the dinosaurs will also be included in the game, which is kind of terrifying at the same time. You know, there's like a Ferris wheel as well, which is going to be a very cool thing to see. And as well as like this kind of like sky lift thing that we have going on right now. Here's a little bit of like a sick Tyrannosaurus. Very unfortunate for it. And of course, you know, we've covered a lot of this stuff before, some of the things that you have to do to try to avoid it, like letting your dinosaurs become sick. So yeah, that's the stuff that you can expect to see in the game. Now, of course, I want to get into the public test branch so that we can take a look at the vivariums. The creatures that we just looked at have not been added yet, so we can just look at Archaeopteryx and Microraptor. But I still want to see like how the vivariums are going to play out. Okay, so here we are in Prehistoric Kingdom, of course, on the public test branch. Let's go ahead and take a look at these vivariums. So here they all are. So much better than the little cages that the Archaeopteryx and the Microraptor had. So this is a amphibious box right here. This one is arboreal box, of course, for the tree climbers. This one is the terrestrial box. This, and then of course, you know, you get some expansion with those. So we'll go ahead and place those like this. We'll try to organize things a little bit. Yeah, gum, these get to be absolutely massive. I accidentally placed down 2 aquatic over here. Okay, so these are the vivarium options. And as you can see, some of these vivariums are quite suited for containing an animal like a Titanoboa. Titanoboa was an absolutely huge snake, so it certainly makes sense to have something like this. This is so cool. They all look really nice. Let's take a look at maybe the bigger arboreal one. Obviously, some things that you're able to do is change things up. I can change up, you know, like the biome that's represented, the environment. You can change like, you know, what type of shrubs you want. Some Mesozoic ferns, some rocks, of course. And then we can get like a vivarium climbing set. That's nice. I like that. Hollow log right there. Vivarium birdhouse. Vivarium hammock. Just give them all of the things, you know. Driftwood curved trunk rootless. Vivarium foul tree. Vivarium foul tree. Vivarium foul tree. There we go. So yeah, that's the vivarium with all of the things in that. And I believe that the arboreal one, can't we place I assume we can place the let's get some microraptors in here with their accurate coloration. And then yeah, you could just select them into here. Isn't that nice? Isn't that so nice? Doesn't that look so much better than the old like aviaries that they used to have, that these fellas used to have? Now imagine this with some like new creatures, like again, like the Tiktaalik, the Simosuchus, all of that. Like the Tiktaalik, for example, would fit into this. Let's see some of the things I could do with this. Like I could change the biome, of course. That's something we know. Then I can add whatever I want, like a lounging log, a hollow log, driftwood, roots, stump tree 2, and a heating lamp, which is pretty darn cool. That's pretty darn cool. So yeah, look at that. You could just see them kind of just swimming around in here. It's gonna be so awesome. Oh, this is so cool, guys. This is so cool. And like you'd be able to place on like, yeah, you can do changes like that, change out the coloration of like the rocks. That's cool. Look at that. Huh. That is so interesting. Now, I believe if memory serves me correctly, I should be able to make my own additions. Like, let's say I want to put a bone in here. Like, if I wanted to put like a fossil theropod humerus right here, I can do that, of course. And I assume that applies to like, yeah, I could place it in here if I so choose. We could even scale it up. Let's go ahead and do that. Like say if we scale it up like that, I guess you can just have like a giant bone. Bones are an interesting example, but I'm sure you can place practically whatever you want in here. Like, yeah, look at that. We could put a T-Rex skeleton in here if we so choose. Yeah, we can just have like a T-Rex statue in there if we so choose. And again, I think that a lot of this would simply apply to all of them. If I wanted to put like a giant Arthropleura statue, I could do it like that. Meganeura, that is a big Meganeura statue. Holy moly. Maybe make this a little bit smaller, you know, try to scale it down a little. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh well. There we go. And then you could put like flying, just kind of flying there. Of course, Prehistoric Kingdom, you know, I could put down like a chain or something like that. Mural background. Now, I think shouldn't I be able to change like the background if I so choose? Oh, I could switch. Okay, that's nice. That's like glass, and then we can change that to mesh. We can also change it to, okay, that's the roof. Cladding for that. That's nice, especially for like indoor exhibits. You know, you just want your visitors to visit one side, of course, or to look in one side. Short cladding. That's nice too. A very nice background right there. Yeah, so that's located underneath the paintbrush. The front, what can I change the front to? You don't get to see this animal. This animal is not available for you. Here we go. Change it to glass, or you can change it to mesh, which is pretty cool. That's nice. That is so nice. And it's so easy too. It's extremely streamlined, you know? What else can we do? What else do we want to try to do? Let's see. Edit each side separately. So like, okay, that's nice. So I can turn on edit each side separately, which means like, say if I only wanted to have the left side be cladding, there we go. We can do that. Or if we want to just have the right side be cladding, there we go. Or if we wanted to turn off the right side, like let's make it glass, and then the back can also be cladding. There we go. That way, in this way, it kind of looks like, oh, you can only view through these two sides while the rest of it is just a wall. That is so fun. Obviously, rocks are always an option. You can dress it up with whatever rocks. Like if the presets are not quite what you want them to be, if they're not as nice as you want, you can make your own additions to it. You know what they say, or you know what I say all the time, when in doubt, just add more rocks, you know? That is so nice though. I swear this vivarium system is going to be so awesome. This is a great way to place down some new creatures that, you know, that are a little bit on the smaller end. Like, I don't think we'd want to try to physically build something like this for some of the smaller creatures, because an enclosure like this certainly wouldn't make sense for like Simosuchus. However, an enclosure like this makes quite a bit more sense for Simosuchus, and I can change things up as I see fit. Looking pretty good. It's looking pretty dang nice, and look at that. Some more hollow logs if I wanted to place some of those. Again, like that, and then as far as like the rest of this goes, like let's see, the sides, let's make that into cladding. That's gonna look so cool. I can already see a Simosuchus just chilling in that. So yeah, that's how the vivariums are going to work. I am so excited for the release of this update. So many amazing creatures are coming, and yeah, just expect some content to be released around that. It's pretty close to Christmas, so I don't know how much content I'll be able to make, but we're gonna try to make something. We're gonna try to make something. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and have an awesome day. All right.